Today on the Rockbridge Report.
Help is here and hope is on the way.
2 months into his presidency, Joe Biden gave his first press conference. We'll tell you what you need to know. And then a crisis at the border. The Rockbridge Report takes you down to South Texas to show you what's happening on the ground. Later, we'll give you the latest on the battle in Lexington for what will become of the Spotswood Drive property. And then Andrew Arnold will let you know if you need your raincoats this weekend. Reporter Avalon Purnell will tell us about the return to action for the Rockbridge County High School football team. All that and more next on the Rockbridge Report.
Live from the campus of Washington and Lee University with news from Rockbridge County, this is the Rockbridge Report.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the live edition of the Rockbridge Report. I'm Jack Hunter. I'll be joined later this half hour by anchor Shauna Muckle, Andrew Arnold's weather forecast, and Sean Lee with sports. 2 months into his presidency, President Biden faced the press for his first formal news conference. While he sought to highlight the progress his administration says they've made on COVID-19, reporters pressed him on a number of other key issues, including immigration and gun reform. Karen Kafa has the details from Washington.
Just more than 9 weeks into his presidency, Joe Biden facing the press in his first news conference.
I want to give you a progress report to the nation.
The event happening later for Biden than it did for his 15 recent predecessors. The White House saying the president wanted to keep focus on his COVID-19 recovery agenda in his first weeks. On that topic, he announced a new vaccination target for the country.
We will, by my 100th day in office, have administered 200 million shots in people's arms. No other country in the world has even come close.
But in recent days, other urgent issues have demanded a spot on his agenda. In the wake of mass shootings in Georgia and in Boulder, Colorado, that took the lives of 18 people within a week, Biden was pressed for how he'll work with a sharply divided Congress to deliver on the gun control reform he's promised.
It's a matter of timing.
And similarly, about a legislative solution as the U.S. grapples with an influx of migrants, many of them unaccompanied children, at the southern border with Mexico, overwhelming detention centers amid the ongoing pandemic.
What we're doing now is attempting to rebuild the system that can accommodate what is happening today.
In addition to domestic policy issues, Biden also addressing a number of foreign policy challenges, including North Korea, China, and Russia. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
For the first time, the Biden administration is releasing the total number of unaccompanied migrant children in federal custody. More than 16,000 kids are currently in government facilities. President Biden is tasking Vice President Kamala Harris with addressing the issue. CNN's Ed Lavandera has the latest.
The activity has been picking up, and I've got a feeling that, the worst is yet to come.
Valverde County Sheriff Joe Frank Martinez is taking us to the edge of the Rio Grande in Del Rio, Texas, to a spot that's become a landing point for several thousand migrants in recent weeks. As we show up, one of his deputies and a Border Patrol agent have apprehended a family from Venezuela.
Well, this little group right here, I think it's 42 that my deputies have personally handled today.
When he looks across the river to the Mexican side, they spot another family crossing. We notice there are 2 men guiding the family through the safest part of the river. The current here can be deadly. A young girl is being carried on a man's shoulders. The law enforcement agents are waiting. As the migrants reach the shore, one tells me they're also from Venezuela. One of the guides throws a bag of dry clothes to the Border Patrol agent. After that, the 2 men turn around and splash through the river back to Mexico. It's unclear what will happen to these migrants, but many families are being allowed to wait out their immigration cases in the United States.
It just hits you. It just hits you. You feel for them.
Sheriff Martinez says frustration is growing over scenes like this unfolding in remote border towns like Del Rio.
What's your message to President Biden then right now?
We don't know what the plan is. In my opinion, the policy makers came in with a policy change, but they had no plan in place to implement that plan. So this is what we're seeing. People are going to continue to come in mass numbers. People are going to die, but something has to be done quick.
Last week in this area, 8 undocumented immigrants were killed in a high-speed car crash. Authorities say the driver was a suspected smuggler trying to get away from state troopers.
The number of people seeking unemployment benefits fell sharply last week to 684,000, the fewest since the pandemic erupted a year ago, and a sign that the economy is improving. Thursday's report from the Labor Department showed that jobless claims fell from 781,000 the week before. It is the first time that weekly applications for jobless aid have fallen below 700,000 since mid-March of last year. Before the pandemic tore through the economy, applications had never topped that level. President Joe Biden says addressing a nuclearized North Korea is his top foreign policy issue. Biden says at his first news conference as president that North Korea has violated UN resolutions by launching ballistic missiles, and that the United States and its allies will respond if North Korea further escalates the situation. The president said that any diplomacy is contingent on denuclearization from the North Koreans. Coming up next on the Rockbridge Report, Crawford Humphreys is live on Spotswood Drive to tell us the latest on what may become of the property. And then reporter Megan Murchie-Bama tells us about a trash pickup competition in Rockbridge County.
Welcome back to the Rockbridge Report. I'm Shauna Muckle. And an update on Philip Westmoreland, the Roanoke man who was indicted on 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter in connection to the South River Market explosion in 2019. He is still a delivery driver for Webb's Oil Corporation. He was released from Rockbridge Regional Jail on a $20,000 bond on Tuesday. A trial date has not been set. Read the full story by Felicity Taylor on our website. Lexington City Council has received 5 new offers to develop 3.2 acres on Spotswood Drive. The offers come after Lexington residents criticized developer Echelon Resources' offer of $350,000 as too low. The Rockbridge Report's Crawford Humphreys is on Spotswood Drive, where some residents are concerned about the 2 charities there that will be displaced by at least some of the plans. Crawford?
Shauna, 4 of the proposals will buy the Piovano building and keep it here in the city. One of those proposals has come from RARA itself, which is looking to buy the property using donations that they have received. 3 of the new proposals will pay the city more than Echelon did in their proposal, or offered in their proposal. And now City Council has all these proposals to consider at their next meeting on April 1st. Back to you guys in the studio.
Crawford Humphreys has more on the Rockbridge Report website. If you're driving through Rockbridge County this week, you might notice groups of people in reflective orange vests picking up trash on the side of the road. Megan Murchie-Bama learned they may be facing twice the usual challenge.
Rockbridge County roads have missed these hard-working cleanup crews. But this week, the Rockbridge Area Conservation Council brought them back for the 26th time. It's been 2 years since the last cleanup. Organizer David Harbour says it was canceled in 2020 because of the coronavirus pandemic.
And a lot of the roads after 2 years look terrible.
This is the first year the Garbage Entourage has participated. The team is made up of co-workers from Rockbridge Area Community Services. Executive Director Kim Shaw says she knew the county had a litter problem before she joined the cleanup.
You could spend days out here. It's just crazy. It just hurts my heart.
Harbour says the cleanup has picked up as much as 7 tons or 600 bags of garbage in a good year.
I've seen a lot of trash, and 7 tons of trash just flying out windows on accident. I don't think so.
Rockbridge Area Conservation Council Executive Director Barbara Walsh says the cleanup is one way residents can help fix the problem.
Oh, it's great fun, actually. You know, you feel like you're getting something done.
Participants sign up online and choose where they want to clean. The county gives them orange trash bags and safety vests, and VDOT picks up the full bags left along the side of the road. The event includes a competition for the team that can pick up the most trash. The winners get to hold on to the Litter Cup, a trophy designed by local artist Mark Klein. Harbour says a team called the Trash Bashers has won every year they've held the competition.
Come beat the Trash Bashers, see if you can take the crown. So far, nobody has.
But the Garbage Entourage wants to. Erica Oren is the Mental Health Case Management Supervisor for Rockbridge Area Community Services.
We're here for the community, but we also want enough to win that cup.
The team is looking to collect over 60 bags, the number that won the Trash Bashers the Litter Cup in 2019.
And this year, there should be plenty of trash to fill up the bags. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Megan Murchie-Bama.
Residents of Rockbridge County can now donate and pick up secondhand clothing, housewares, and other items at a local market called Zipper Collective. But it's not a typical secondhand store. What's missing? The cash register. Shafali Konda has the story.
12-year-old Eden Burke says searching for free gems at Zipper Collective is his favorite after-school activity.
I found the Droid Developer Kit, which is a pretty old set, I guess. It is a pretty old set, yes. And it's a very expensive set. Oh my gosh, this is even better.
Washington and Lee University senior Elspeth Suber co-founded the market with Amity Hopkins, who used to own the Blue Phoenix in Lexington. Suber says seeing kids' faces light up is the best part of the job. She started the market to help people in need. Customers can walk in, grab anything they like, and head out. She also wanted to provide a space for people in the community to donate and shop for free stuff.
Really trying to keep stuff out of the landfill and keep stuff in our community and provide for everyone.
The coronavirus pandemic has hit people hard. The Pew Research Center found in a survey conducted in September that 1 in 4 adults have had trouble paying their bills during the pandemic.
It's just people don't really have a lot of extra money right now, and we have, free stuff that's in great condition that other people brought here.
Tamara Duvall volunteers at Zipper Collective and the food pantry at the Rockbridge Area Relief Association. She says she comes to the market every week and picks up empty cardboard boxes.
Every once in a while I find something here because it's, it goes back and forth. As a matter of fact, I got this.
Suber says she's proud at how much Zipper Collective has expanded. She originally started the initiative as a Facebook group last summer. Since then, Suber and Hopkins have moved their market to a building at 810 South Main Street. From the Rockbridge Report, I'm Shafali Konda.
The governor signed legislation Wednesday making Virginia the 23rd state to abolish the death penalty, a dramatic shift for the Commonwealth, which had the second highest number of executions in the U.S. The bill was the culmination of a years-long battle by Democrats, who argued the death penalty has been applied disproportionately to people of color, the mentally ill, and the poor. Republicans argued that the death penalty should remain a sentencing option for especially heinous crimes and to bring justice to victims and their families. Coming up on the Rockbridge Report, a Good Samaritan saves a police office from a burning vehicle. We have his courageous story.
Spring showers have arrived, but they will not be continuing into the weekend. I'm Andrew Arnold, and all of that and more coming up in my weather report next.
Welcome back to the Rockbridge Report. I'm Andrew Arnold. A pair of Good Samaritans are being hailed as heroes after saving an officer stuck in a burning police car in Northern California. One of them spoke publicly Wednesday, explaining why he didn't think twice. Heather Jansen has a story.
It was a loud bang.
The sound and the scene that sent Jacob Estabrook into action Tuesday night.
Honestly, man, it was just like an instinct. It was just something inside me. I wanted to help him.
One of two Good Samaritans saving an officer from a fiery crash.
When he opened the door, the officer looked really hurt.
Hurt after Auburn police say one of their own was led on a pursuit by 29-year-old Ryan Schlittenhart. The officer following him, losing control, crashing his car, stuck inside as his car caught fire. With a family of his own, Jacob knew he had to do something to help someone else's loved one.
He's a human being, and just wanted to make sure he was okay.
Auburn's chief of police, Ryan Canan, thankful for Jacob and the other man that ultimately saved his officer's life and condemning the suspect's dangerous decisions.
Not only did the officer get hurt as a result of it, but he could have easily hurt somebody else.
Chief Canan hailing Jacob a hero.
The world continues to be a good place when you got people like Jacob.
A man proving it takes no special training just to be a good person.
Today in Lexington, you saw a high of 67, low of 63, with barometric pressure sitting at 30 and 1/100 inches of mercury. Wind speeds today at 6 miles an hour and humidity at 90%. Moving on to the radar, you can see across a lot of the western part of the state today, there are a lot of showers moving northeast up the Blue Ridge Mountains towards the east coast. But the mountains are breaking up a lot of this precipitation and keeping it from the eastern part of the state. Taking a look at our weekend forecast,
On Friday, it'll be very sunny with a high of 69, low of 46. Saturday, beautiful day, high of 73, low of 58. On Sunday, we're going to be seeing some thunderstorms with a high of 69, low of 40. And moving into Monday, the sun will return with a high of 62, low of 38. And on Tuesday, partly cloudy skies with a high of 61, low of 47. The rain should break up overnight, and we should have a beautiful weekend. So get outside, enjoy this weather. Have a great day.
Coming up on the Rockbridge Report, Avalon Purnell tells us about how the Rockbridge County High School football team returned to action. And then Sean Lee will tell us about the NBA trade deadline this afternoon, as well as March Madness.
Welcome back to the Rockbridge Report. I'm Sean Lee, and it's time to talk sports. Well, lately around Rockbridge County, you can really feel the energy on Friday nights. High school football in Rockbridge County has returned for a spring season after the coronavirus pandemic shut down the fall season. The Rockbridge Report's Avalon Purnell spoke with players, parents, and coaches.
The Friday night lights of high school football are lit up again after a dark fall. At Rockbridge County High School, spring football has kicked off with a twist. Spectators are screened for fevers before they enter the stadium. They also must sit socially distanced in the stands. Head coach Mark Poston says the pandemic has not changed his team's motivation to play.
You play football at Rockbridge High School, you're going to win games. And so that's the mentality that they've set.
The school's coronavirus rules prevent players from keeping personal items in the locker room. The football team also takes 2 buses to away games to make sure players don't share seats.
If we get 1 or 2 cases, they'll shut us down. And rightfully so. I mean, you got the contact tracing and all that, so we have to be careful.
Senior kicker Daniel Cunningham says COVID-19 was another form of adversity the players had to face.
Stuff that you have to go around, and we got to go by the rules, and we have to do it the right way, and our coaching staff has done a very good job of making sure that we do.
Cunningham says he knows his team is lucky to be playing.
A lot of schools have been canceled, and we're so blessed that we get to have a season.
Athletic trainer Courtney Simpkins says the school's COVID restrictions have changed some parts of her job.
Before we used water bottles, but obviously in football there's so many you have to share, and that's just not something we can do right now.
Simpkins says she screens the athletes before games to try to make sure they don't have symptoms. One player's mom, Bridget McClung, says the players have adapted.
They have been given this awkward year, and they've just acclimated, and they literally have taken the ball and run with it.
Poston's Wildcats will be back on the Pres Nicky Ross Field tomorrow to defend their 4-0 record. The team will play against the Harrisonburg Blue Shrieks at 7 p.m. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Avalon Purnell.
Also in local sports, all RARO events are postponed tonight due to weather. Football games will be made up Tuesday at 6 p.m. at Brubaker Field. Now let's go to the NBA, where the trade deadline came and went without really any major splashes. Victor Oladipo was the biggest deal, and he was traded to the Miami Heat, while Kyle Lowry, who was expected to be traded, stayed put in Toronto. But it has been a wild, wild March Madness as usual. The Sweet 16 kicks off Saturday afternoon with a matchup between 12-seeded Oregon State and number 8 Loyola Chicago. By Tuesday night, we will know who will be playing in the Final Four and just how wrong my bracket was. And now for a story of true heroism. A New England Patriots offensive lineman saved a 73-year-old woman from a sexual assault. Max Gordon has more.
This was a horrific incident.
Tempe PD says Caballero shoved the woman to the ground in trying to take off her pants. Caballero allegedly said he was going to have sex with her. But as the woman fought back, 2 men heard her screams.
It was a crazy experience. It was something that I never dreamed that I thought I would see.
Patriots defensive tackle Justin Haran was walking in the park.
It was terrifying to witness.
Murray Rogers was there for his kid's birthday party.
Could not believe, based on how many people were at the park and the time of day, that what I was seeing was actually happening.
Both men rushed over.
Yell, tell them to get off of her, and then yanked them off. And then I told them to sit down.
Once they'd separated the victim from her attacker, they then called the cops.
These individuals took action. They didn't run away, and they really assisted our victim. It was truly amazing.
Thanks, Sean. That's all for the Rockbridge Report. Thanks for joining us. You can stay current on regional news by logging on to the rockbridgereport.wlu.edu and join us again Tuesday at 3:30 for a Rockbridge Report live update.